Welcome everyone to pre-market prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin. All right, listen, folks. Nothing in this market makes any sense whatsoever. Whether you want to say the market's up because it's getting better in the hotspots of New York and Spain and in Italy, or you want to say it's because of the Fed. Maybe you're right with both of those things. Maybe you're wrong. I don't really know. Joel, markets up today. Walk us through sort of how that came to be.
You can't fight the Fed, right?
Yeah.
You can't fight the Fed. Well, we had a strong pre-market, so the market gave you indication early that we're going to have an up day. You took out the pre-market high, and I believe you got in. You got almost a 28.35, and then they paid a little of attention to the banks, and we had to sell off. What time was that around? That was around noon, and scared people out of their logs like me. Where did you have that decline? That decline was at around 11:15, and they took it down under 2,800, and they as fast as it went down, it went right back up. And we just made a new high for the session at 28.41 and a quarter. I have a daily target of 28.7350. That could happen as well. We'll see what happens at 350, right? I mean, if there's a slew of buying balances here, we could easily see that. Aramis Estevez did talk about Roku yesterday, but you had to be in overnight, Aramis. That's just a great call. And that's why we're here for you to listen to your great calls. What happened here? It did decline a little bit. I hope you were listening this morning because we talked about the pre-market high and how important it was for it to get through the pre-market high. Let me zero in on I'll have to share my charts here eventually so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Man, this got really overdone at pre-market. It went to 112.78. And what did we do during the regular session? The regular session, we could do no better than 108.60, and that was near the open. So not sure if you have another longer term target or what you're looking on that, but that was a great call. Take it away, Spencer.
Yeah, so just kind of looking at the market today, and you say, okay, so what's not up? All right, energy and
Yes.
financials, right?
Yep.
So energy is kind of more the same. Financials, look, I mean, what do we know? I guess the earnings do matter, right? The bar was low, as Dennis was saying. They beat expectations, which mean almost nothing. But I guess the fact that they were still bad is weighing on the sector today. So go figure.
Yeah, but they did have it green, and man, I was tempted. I was tempted to play this thing from the short side, but I say it several times on the show. I've really gotten tanned playing J.P. Morgan on earnings. So it's one of the true trading rules that I make for myself that I actually follow. But that went red on the session. I think the other thing leading into this, these bank stocks just didn't rally with the market. They just didn't have the same pace. Now we know why. That low from the day, JP Morgan 93.63. What you have to be thinking now for you JP Morgan traders is you had a low. Man, I wish I could fix this one setting. You went, wow, basically from 60. Is that right? Oh, no, I'm still looking at Roku. JP Morgan.
Opened at what?
No,
Like
I'm talking about the retracement here.
okay.
Yeah, you went from
So 76.91 was the low.
76.91. So call that 77 and call 104 the high, 87.97. So it was a 27-point move. You take half of that, maybe 90. Maybe this thing comes into 90, you get a 50% retracement, but still, those are some bad looking earnings here. And turned around also Wells Fargo, they had that thing green, and I didn't think yesterday's low 31.41 was going to do anything to stop the tide. And I was right about that. You took out that 31.10 low. That was your 2-day low. You skidded to 29.56. So, man, oh man, if you had the gumption to just totally ignore the market and short the you know what out of the banks, you could have had a pretty good day today. But it's hard when the SPOOs are up 77 handles. You kind of don't want to be short anything. But wow, 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 wow. We also talked about Fastenal. Um, that had a very good pre-market session too. I don't quite understand this earnings reports if we're not building anything. This got overdone. We'll see. When was that high made? No, that made it during that made during the high during the pre-market session too. You got the 35.17, and that was in early trading. So that did take out the pre-market high, but now settled back is in the $34 handle.
Okay, so JP Morgan and Wells Fargo both green for a second today, and
Yep.
then faded hard. So now we got that. Tomorrow we'll get Bank of America, PNC, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup all before the bell.
Whew.
So
How can you be
not
long them?
exactly, and or is the other side of this. Now everyone is expecting the markets to just pull the rug out from under them, and
Rally.
the seesaw gets too crowded.
You know what? I mean, sometimes on some small options plays, will do something into earnings, but it's just, you're throwing darts. Are they going to come out
Yeah.
and beat and lower guidance and stuff? So I'll just let it shake out in those. But if you're basing it on past performance here, these banks, I mean, yikes. Let's just see how they're trading. Who reports tomorrow? Bank America?
Yeah.
Bank America has got to be in the red. Yeah, not too much. Bank America's not in the red by much. Goldman's in the red, not by a ton. I mean, they're not getting killed. Morgan's green, but man, that's really gotten killed too. So they're a little bit. S&P's just made a new high there. The anticipation of buy imbalances is on traders' minds. We just poked our head to 42.50 right off that level here, heading into the imbalances here in 3 minutes.
Someone in the YouTube chat is mentioned KRUS, which I wanted to. Oh, it was Aramis. I wanted to bring that up anyway because we were talking about Joel and I were discussing restaurant stocks just before we hopped on live here.
Oh my lord!
KRUS is Kura Sushi's a recent IPO from last year. They have earnings after the close today. I'll pull the chart up. KRUS is by far the most expensive in terms of valuation of any restaurant stock on the market. They're a very small company. It's $91 million market cap, so it's a micro cap company, very small. But they are, in terms of valuation and price to earnings ratio, they are the most expensive restaurant stock on the market. So they report after the close here, and there's a daily chart of that. But we can talk about this, and then I want to transition to a different restaurant stock that Joe and I were discussing.
Yeah, this one, I mean, nice run in. I mean, how many? It had one heck of a losing streak. I broke down. I must have been down like 17 out of 18 days. I don't even have time to count them here. It's rallying up. If you're in this thing, going into the open or after, fit a couple targets for you: 1511, 1587. If you want to figure out a retracement of this whole ugly move, you can call it from 29 to 5. That's easy. That's 24. Half of that is 12, $17 maybe if you're really holding out for another target in KRUS. Never heard of it.
Right. It's a small restaurant stock, and like I said, a pretty recent IPO the past year or so.
Okay.
But in terms of PE ratio, I mean, so all right, the industry average for restaurants for PE ratio, which is the most commonly used valuation ratio, is like 33. That's the industry average. All right. KRUS's PE ratio is 182, and the next stop is Wingstop. I want to go there. WING. Wingstop. Their PE ratio is 144. The forward PE is 91. These are incredibly expensive restaurant stocks on a PE basis. I mean, I'll pull up.
This is the most incredible move
Yeah.
that I've ever seen. And I'm glad I never looked at it before, because I would have shorted it at 70, 80, 90, 100.
Yeah.
This thing is over doubled. 44.27 was your March 19th low. And now you are you're coming close to the all-time high. Someone tell me that they do all carry out and that people are sitting home watching Netflix, and every person watching Netflix is ordering from Wingstop.
They don't do all carry out. They don't even have a buyback to my knowledge. I thought maybe
I think we're maybe leaning a little bit to the sell side here, folks. We just hit 46 on that surge. We're 10 points off it. I was not looking just at the 350 tick, so I don't have my eagle eye to tell you what the imbalances are, but I think I might have to guess maybe 630 million to the sell side, 700 million to the sell side. That's my guess.
See if you're right.
I'm just guessing. So we will wait. We will
All right.
just
So
wait.
so back to Wingstop here. So this is best I can tell a short squeeze. The Wingstop short percent of float is 12%, which is pretty high. It doesn't seem high, but it's pretty high for a restaurant. I think McDonald's short percent of float is like 1%. Let me see if I can find Wendy's here. Wendy's is like 3%. So the fact that 12% of Wingstop shares are sold short is really high for a restaurant. So I think that's what's going on here. This is an insane short squeeze. I don't have another explanation for why this stock could have gone from 44 to 101
Yeah.
in a month.
Also, it's just bots. I mean,
Well,
there
that
can't
too.
be humans buying this. I mean, if you are and you're a human
I hope
momentum
not.
trader,
I hope not.
yeah. You're a momentum trader, and you don't care what what the symbol is.
Yeah.
I mean, Spinner's throwing here in the chat that maybe they have a deal with Domino's Pizza. I have no idea about that, but
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why
It
Domino's would. Yeah,
it defies all logic and reason, this move. So
yeah. Well, if it's in play, it's in play. I mean, that would be another possible explanation for that move. But man, I mean, when's Domino's Pizza bought anything? I mean, what if they ever made an acquisition? And I think Domino's has pretty good wings too. So I don't know. We'll see. If you're long it, congratulations.
yeah.
I'm just gonna pass on that. So congrats everyone that have it. It's a one hell of a rally, and hey, come this far this fast. I mean, I'd be rigging the register, but what do you got? You got some daily highs. Today's high, you got to 101.26. Where did you get? You're above that today. If you're looking for a target today, 102.13, February 20 high. February 19 high, 103.15. If that's what I'm not sure if it's Mr. or Mrs. Martinez, but they say Wingstop is an order and carry out mostly. So
Mostly, not entirely. I think
yeah,
most of what they do is carry out. But
I'll tell you right now, I'm dying to try their wings. I mean, holy moly. But wow, what a stock.
they can't be that good. Wingstop is approaching all-time highs. A stock that did hit all-time highs today is Amazon. Holy moly, Joel.
Hey, it broke out. I mean, they hired 76,000 people, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's great in this kind of economy. Well, we're not in a recession.
In this kind of economy.
I'm sorry.
I haven't heard that in 12 years.
In this market environment, Amazon is just everyone is gonna be home eating Wingstop wings and watching Netflix and getting stuff. Maybe Amazon is in a deal with Wingstop to deliver their wings or something.
Okay.
I have no idea, but congrats on Amazon. I mean, it had you talk about a 2-day move. It had a nice bump up, a couple days of consolidation, and then this is a big blast off here. So can't give you any targets, can't give you any levels. All I can say, if it hit your target price, then take your target. But What a nice one. What a nice move there in Amazon.
All right, 3:55, 5 minutes from the close here. The only notable earnings after the close today, on my radar at least, are the Valens Company. They're kind of
Hey, I
a
was
play.
wrong. Jonathan Corpina says 900 million to buy on the close. So that's interesting. There must be people willing to sell. There must be some. They must be offsetting that. When did we make that 46 print? I never like to pull up a minute chart here, but I'm going to do it for the sake. I want to see what minute we hit that 46. Oh well, what do you know? 1551. 1550, you hit 2845. 1551, you hit 2846. So that was the start of the bracket. And then the minute you fell 12 handles on the buying balances. So maybe the institutions are starting to smarten up here a little bit, or maybe like Jonathan talked about, maybe maybe there's better communication between the floor brokers now, and they're getting in there to help offset those imbalances.
Yep. I want to just go back to the a notable earnings stock that's after the close today
Sure.
is JB Hunt and JBHT. They will report after the close here today. Let me get the chart up here. There we go. So Joel, I'll pull up a daily and let's take a look at. I haven't looked at this one.
I mean, even though this has had a nice bump up here, I don't think I'd want to be short of going to earnings. And actually, if I was on my game, I probably would have been buying this thing in March, because how's everything getting moved around? I mean, all this food that people are buying in Costco. You know
Yeah,
what?
but
Yeah,
there are a lot of truck drivers out of work though.
there
Eh,
are.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we're using it. We need truck drivers, but there are a lot of truck drivers also that add it. There's a lot less stuff being moved.
You know
So,
what those truck drivers should do? They should apply to
uh,
Wingstop.
okay,
I
okay,
like that one. I think so. I think so. Now I don't know. I mean, there's still trucks on the road. You still need to move product here. So
yes,
obviously shorts are covering into today ahead of the report. If you get a pop up here, 103.04. That's your 2-day high. That was Thursday's high. So if you're looking at a target on that one, this really came off its all-time high. I don't have time to do the 50% retracement, but man, there was a lot of congestion longer term from 117 to 122 if you're looking for a longer term target here in JB Hunt.
all right. 2 minutes left here in the main session. Joel, how are we looking?
We're tailing off here, Spencer. 2846. Buying balances seem to be offset. Let's see here. I did not have anything up there, folks. I had a close, a March 10 close at 2854.50. We didn't quite get there, but we are going to post a new closing high for the rebound. So that's going to be good. It's really going to improve on that high, that closing high, which we had on Thursday at 2779.75. So tailing off a little bit here at the end of the day, Dow up 545 points. So great session for the market. Remember yesterday when I said, even though we were down, I said, hey, I still thought it was a pretty good session. I wish I could have translated that into an overnight long. But big reports tomorrow. Be careful with your banks. We'll see what happens. Any closing thoughts from you, Spencer?
Yeah, I just don't feel I still don't feel good about this, right? Putting aside the fact that this rally doesn't make sense to me at all. I just don't feel good about these gains. I mean, they're coming. We know the market is forward looking, but I mean, come on. What the consensus is, we're heading into the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. I mean, come on, people.
That's not the consensus of the machines and the people that are buying stock, Spencer. Maybe we'll be just like what China. How long did China get back to get it together? Even though we're getting hurt,
They don't even have it together yet. Like they're still getting it together. I mean,
Don't
come
think,
on.
Spencer. don't think.
Yeah, that was my first mistake, was thinking. I should
Right.
have known.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was getting trouble. Oh, real quick for Robinhood, Yelp. I'm going to look at this chart. It's going to be at the high, bunching up, getting ready to break out. Let me see for Yelp for Robinhood, because
No.
I call these a Robinhood charts. Not the typical Robinhood chart. Uh, you know, you. Hmm. I guess if you want to lean down to 1884, it had a good day today. You got to clear out this seller between 1953 and 1975. Those are your last 2 days highs. Not quite an inside day, but a higher low. Let's see if you can punch into the 20 handle here. You got some room up to 22.94.
All right, we are closed here, Joel. What is the damage, or I guess not damage?
No
We
damage.
closed up 3% today in the S&P 500.
Yep.
So another good day
Heck yeah.
in otherwise crappy situation for society. But I guess that's the
Who
market
cares as
we're
long
in.
as
Who
stocks are
cares?
going up?
Yep. All right. That'll be it for us right now. On tomorrow's show, we'll be joined by Eric Kroll. He's the author of The Life Cycle Trade. He'll be telling us how this market is impacting all the spate of recent IPOs from the past couple of years and how those are behaving in this market. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Thanks to everyone in our chats. Catch a replay of this broadcast on YouTube. And until tomorrow at 8 a.m., everyone, stay safe out there.